Thank you so much for coming to chat to me. So could we start with your name and the company that you work for?
Richard Bateson, I work for LSEG.
Fantastic. So how do you see automation continuing to evolve in the trading space, and what is LSEG doing to help support clients in this area?
Yeah, I think automation is going to continue to evolve because, the challenge that the traders have is how do we free up capacity? How do you use automation to allow them to then focus on problems? And a lot of the things that we're doing at LSEG, especially with the recent acquisition of Tora, is when we look at types of trades and automate decision making for those types of trades. So we do cluster analysis and peer analysis and machine learning to then be able to, when an order is received into our OMS, to make a decision about how to process that order without any human intervention. That doesn't mean that that just trades automatically, but we can set gateways effectively to allow the trade to go straight through and to automate, or to get to a certain stage where there are certain filters that are applied that then throws either an exception or allows it to be suitable for a decision that might be made by a machine of some kind as well. And so, really it's about how do you free up time and especially space. So when we look at the integration of Tora and our workspace, it's about how do we keep the space in front of the trader free so they can deal with problems. And that's about automating how you bring content in, how you context pass and move data around between systems. And that, I think, is really going to be the future for the trading place.
And so there has been a lot of talk about LSEG's push into workspace. So can you tell me a little bit about that development?
Yeah, I think, ultimately what we're trying to do with workspace is to create an open container. And what we're trying to do is to allow the user to define what they want their screen to look like. And so now there are interoperable technologies, FTC3, various things like that allow you to link different components that historically sat on different screens. Now, I spent 20 years trading and I had 6 screens. Nowadays you can effectively interact with systems as long as they are open. And the biggest challenge within that is allowing systems to be open so you can integrate with them. So you can bring in a component from Tora and I can sit it alongside Workspace. And for us, Workspace now is a massive upgrade to our old desktop because there's better search functionality. It's rendered better in HTML5. The really important thing that we see is with our Microsoft partnership is how do we push data into the cloud? How do we derive analytics more effectively? And so that all comes down to how do we push content back out to our users in a better form, and how do we enable data quicker for our users?
So how does the cloud continue to influence changes in traders' workflow or their ability to do their jobs better?
I think the way that the trader will see the use of the cloud is by the services that he's using are benefiting from that. So ultimately, within LSEG, we have a huge amount of data that comes in, whether that's from market data, fundamental data, index data, reference data. Being able to store that in a easily addressable format is a big challenge, and it's an infrastructure challenge. So when you're working with someone like a Microsoft, we don't have to spend the money to do that because that can effectively be put into the cloud. And what that means is we can deliver analytics a lot quicker, and we can start rationalizing the reference databases that we used to use. So instead of having 20 different APIs looking at different data sets, we can create common data sets, which mean reduce latency and allow us to enable data a lot more effectively. But also with Microsoft, it allows us to open up a community of people. So it's not just pushing it onto the desktop, it's how we push it onto people's smartphones, how they can actually get it in a mobile way as well. And so working with Microsoft and that cloud gives us the ability to interact with the type of 365 Office type capabilities, Messenger through Teams, gets us into that community and allows us to open up the universe more, and a lot more control around tokenization and single sign-on as well. So a lot of the problems you have when you've got big data sets and big sets of users is how do you enable and do permissioning? And definitely using those types of technologies allow us to do that in a more convenient way.
So LSG continues to grow out its end-to-end trading solutions. So most recently, as you mentioned, with the acquisition of Tora. What makes this acquisition so significant for clients?
Yeah, the acquisition of Tora is about us effectively now having a next generation trading capability. You know, when we look at a lot of the work that's gone on historically with Tora, and you now take a system that's proven for the buy side, that's got smart machine learning, that's got very good pairs trading capability, very good smart order routing, and we feed it now with the data that you get from the data analytics business. And we also have the capability of interacting different asset classes. So, you know, whatever people think about crypto, it's somewhere that if you want to trade, we need to give people the ability to do that. So we have a very smart capability of how we can aggregate crypto prices. There's a business within Tora that's a crypto business as well. And so we've got a technology there now, which is proven that we want to take globally now, focused for our buy-side clients. And it helps us take other components from our existing technologies, AlphaDesk and Ready, couple those with Tora so that we can deliver a real front-to-back buy-side solution to our clients.
Fantastic. And here at Tradetech, then you spoke on a panel, I believe, yesterday. Would you like to tell me about that?
Yeah, so a lot of the focus on the panel yesterday was people really just trying to explain just the amount of businesses that we have within LSEG. So, you know, not just the post-trade business or the capital markets business, but within data analytics. You know, the breadth of offerings that we have within our business, and getting them to understand that within LSEG, we have Main Street, which is low latency business. We have Tora, we have AlphaDesk, we have Ready. And then talking about automation and having a really good dialogue with the buy side and just giving them an education so they can get a taste of what we're doing. Because, you know, we want to partner up with people. It's not a sales pitch. It's just saying, by the way, the rationale for buying this is X, and this is what we're doing with it. If it fits in your workflow, we should have a further conversation.